Extended Read 1. Remember to annotate as you read.
Dr. Knowall by the Brothers Grimm. There was once upon a time a poor peasant called Crab. With his 2 oxen, he drove a load of wood into town to sell. He sold his wood to a kind doctor, who invited Crab into his house so he could pay him. As the doctor counted out the coins, Crab noticed the beautiful table filled with fine food that the doctor had. Soon his heart desired what the doctor had: a nice house, delicious food, and stylish clothes. Crab decided he would willingly be a doctor if he could gain all those things too. Gathering up his courage, Crab inquired, "Might I become a doctor?" The kind doctor looked up and smiled. "Why, yes," he said. "It is simple." "What must I do?" asked Crab, for he truly wanted to know. "Here is what you must do," said the doctor. "You must do 3 things. The doctor told Crab that first he must buy an ABC book. The doctor suggested one that had a rooster in it, similar to his own book. The second thing to do was to sell the cart and oxen, and then buy some fine clothes and medicine. The third thing was to have a large fancy sign painted with the words, "I am Dr. Knowall." Lastly, the doctor told Crab to nail the sign above his house door, so all could see it as they enter. Crab immediately did all that the good doctor told him to do. Soon people came to Dr. Knowall. After a while, Crab had many people seeking his advice. One day a lord appeared. Now the rich and powerful lord had some money stolen from him. The lord had heard about Dr. Knowall. The lord assumed with a name like Knowall, the doctor could solve his mystery. And so the lord drove out to Dr. Knowall's house. Upon arriving, the lord saw the doctor's sign and said, "Ah, he must indeed know all." The lord barged into the doctor's house, as lords are wont to do. "Are you Dr. Knowall?" the lord demanded. Crab nodded meekly. "Then you must come with me," commanded the lord. "I will go, but my wife Greta must come too," said Crab. The lord nodded, and soon all were seated in the lord's magnificent carriage. Away they drove to the lord's castle. Once there, Dr. Knowall would have to find the thieves and the money. Entering the nobleman's castle, they saw a large table upon which were all kinds of plates and goblets that sparkled and shone. However, there was no one else in the room, except for Crab, his wife, and the lord. "Sit down," ordered the lord. Crab did so, but said again, "My wife Greta must sit with us too." The lord waved his hand imperiously, and so Greta sat. The lord bellowed, and the first servant came with a dish of delicate fare. Crab nudged his wife and said, "Greta, that is the first." Now what Crab meant was that he was the servant who brought the first dish. The servant thought that Crab meant that he was the first thief, which he actually was, and he was terrified. So the servant ran back to the kitchen and called to his comrades. "That doctor knows all, and we shall fare ill. We will be caught. He said I was the first." The second servant did not want to go into the dining room, but was forced to do so. When he went in with his dish, Crab nudged his wife and said, "Greta, that is the second." When this servant heard Dr. Knowall, he was equally alarmed and got out as fast as he could. Now 2 of the servant thieves were worried. A third servant tried to avoid going in, but he too was forced to bring in a most delicate dish, a pheasant served under a glass. This servant fared no better, as Crab nudged his wife and said, "Greta, that is the third." Now 3 of the thieves were in a panic, but there was nothing they could do. The 4th servant thief carried in a covered dish. The lord told the doctor that he was to show his skill and guess what was beneath the cover. The dish happened to be hard-shell crabs. But the doctor did not know that. He looked at the dish, having no idea what to say, and feeling sorry for himself, cried, "Ah, poor crab!" When the Lord heard that, he exclaimed, "There! This man truly knows it all! He must also know who has the money!" Hearing this, the servant thieves made a sign to the doctor that they wished him to step outside, where they confessed that they had stolen the money. Then they said they would return it, and they would give Dr. Knowall a large sum if he would not tell the Lord they were the thieves, as they would surely be hanged. The thieves showed the doctor where the money was hidden. Satisfied, Crab returned to the hall. He sat down to the table and said, "My lord, now I will search in my book to find where the gold is hidden." Meanwhile, a fifth servant thief crept into a passage near the banquet hall to hear if the doctor knew still more. The doctor opened his ABC book, turned the pages backwards and forwards, and looked for the rooster. As he could not find it immediately, he said, "I know you are there, so you had better come out." Now the servant in the passage assumed he meant him, not the rooster. Full of terror, he sprang out, crying, "The doctor knows all!" Then Crab showed the Lord where the money was, but he did not say who had stolen it. And so both the thieves and the Lord paid Dr. Knowall a very large reward. Word of this good doctor's deeds spread, and he became a rich, renowned man.